And welcome to your Wednesday footy feed. Suspended Essendon coach James Hird admits he should have known more about the club's supplements regime. The Bombers legend spoke briefly this morning while the players are preparing to play without their coach for the first time. Matt Thompson has all the fallout for us from Windy Hill. Matt, what's the latest?
Well, Jackie, let's start with James Hird. He's been so defiant throughout all of this, but his message today was mostly about moving on. That's why he says he's dropped the Supreme Court action against the AFL. But as you'll hear, he's far from conceding ground on everything.
What am I guilty of? Look, there's a level of responsibility you have as a senior coach. The senior coach is responsible for a lot of things at a football club. There were things that went on at our football club that shouldn't have happened last year. And as senior coach, so I have to take some responsibility for what happened and not doing more to stop it. Well, I didn't break the rules that I was charged with. Those charges have been dropped. Oh, to our supporters, I'm really sorry, dreadfully sorry about what happened. You know, our football club is a great football club, and it has been unfairly dealt with this year. As I said, we do own those mistakes, but the way it has been treated, I don't think is fair.
Now, Hird has backed Mark Thompson to coach in his absence next season, although there's no formal word from Thompson or the club on that. Hird also indicating that he wants to speak publicly at length in the not-too-distant future. Now, as far as the players are concerned, well, obviously they saw this coming, but still, no finals now. It's a devastating time.
Obviously, it's disappointing for all the fans and the supporters, and as players, we're really disappointed too. But we'll get over it, and the club continue, and we'll move on. In hindsight, people have made mistakes, and I think people have accepted responsibility for that. But I don't think anyone set out to intentionally cause the situation that we found ourselves in.
Joe Watson there, and of course, Jackie, Simon Goodwin will coach the team in what will be their final game of the season on Saturday night.
Thanks for that, Matt. Of course, the Bombers take on Richmond on Saturday night in what has effectively become a dead rubber. It's not the ideal preparation ahead of the Tigers' first finals campaign in 12 years, and skipper Trent Cotchin admits it does make the game a bit unpredictable.
Depending on how they react to what's happened this week, who's to know, but I think what we've seen this year is the more and more they've been in the media, the better they've performed, and the pressure's been on. We have no doubt that they're going to come out firing.
The Bombers beat the Tigers by 29 points when the teams met earlier this year. Trading is an area the Bombers may be keen to explore after losing key draft choices as part of the AFL sanctions, and Greater Western Sydney is more than happy to do business.
Is under instructions to talk to every club about the players that they might be prepared to trade. I think that there's a bit of a sense that given the draft penalties that Essendon would be more prepared than they might otherwise be, and he's been analysing their list just like every other list all year.
Tom Bellchambers and Stuart Cramery already mentioned as potential trade targets. Brad Scott was out to recruit new fans today, and with good reason. Now that Essendon is out of the 8, the Kangaroos are back in the running for finals football.
If we hold up our end of the bargain and other results fall our way, then I feel with a good win against Collingwood on Sunday, we'll be in good shape if we do make the finals.
The Roos need to beat Collingwood and hope Carlton has a loss if they are to feature in September. The Brisbane Lions are also an outside chance to make the finals now, and Jonathan Brown says it's a pleasant surprise.
Well, it's exciting for the boys because they're playing for something this week, so that's good to know. It's almost a bit of a mini final. It's good in the development of our group going forward. It's obviously unexpected, and it's going to be a tough ask going to Geelong.
The Lions need to beat the Cats at Simmons and pray that Carlton and North Melbourne lose for them to make it. With that troublesome calf strapped, Justin Kajitsky is making a last-ditch bid to reach game 200 before he retires at season's end.
I've done the rehab diligently, and everything's come to a point where I'm fit enough to play AFL footy again. I've been training for a couple of weeks, so that was always a goal to get back and be competitive.
With the entire St Kilda list watching on, Jason Blake also confirmed his retirement. Adam Schneider is hanging around though, ready for his 200-game milestone this weekend. Port Adelaide legend Russell Ebert has slammed the decision to move both his club and the Adelaide Crows away from AAMI Stadium.
This has been our home, so to go away from that is more than a sad day. Sometimes you you wonder at decisions that are made. Would you sell your home and go and rent somewhere on someone else's property? Can't understand it.
The Power hosts Carlton on Saturday for the last AFL game at the venue before both clubs move to Adelaide Oval. And just before we go, Adelaide youngster Sam Kerridge has signed a new contract that will see him stay at the club for another 2 years. And that's it for today's Footy Feed. I'm Jackie Reid. See you next time.